In this video, I'm going to be going over what I believe is contributing to Jayden Daniels' success so far in the NFL. Whether that be play calling or raw talent, we're going to go over it. We're going to analyze some clips, and we're just going to talk about what I believe is contributing the most to Jayden Daniels' success. As you heard from the intro, this is just a video about me talking about and going deeper into what I believe is contributing so much to Jayden Daniels' success this far into the NFL season. The hiring of Kliff Kingsbury into this Dan Quinn staff is incredible for the development of a young quarterback like Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels was kind of seen as this more raw prospect who, even though he just won the Heisman, didn't feel like he had the capabilities to come into the NFL and start and thrive like he has so far. And Kliff Kingsbury, I think, has, I don't want to say watered down this playbook to be able to let Jayden Daniels kind of do what he did in college in make plays for himself, make plays for the offense. Like, the offense runs through Jayden Daniels, and we see that in his playmaking ability, but the plays that are presented aren't complex. He's not having to read the defense pre-snap and know exactly, like, the safety is playing lower than the strong safety is playing lower than the free safety. I need to watch for man, watch the tight end on the little underneath route because this strong safety might come in to where this route is. He's not having to make all these pre-snap decisions about this and that. He's given opportunities to make plays with his arm, but not plays with his mind yet, if that makes any sense, right? You have to be on some sort of intelligence scale to be able to succeed in the NFL. But the watered down offense, this lessened offense for Jayden Daniels, I think is working very well. Obviously, they're sitting at 4-1 at the time I'm recording this. They just came off a very impressive win against the Browns. And I think that even though the play calling has been brilliant from Kliff Kingsbury and the coaching staff, Jayden Daniels' ability to make plays and his talent is elevating his game so much more. And without that, the Commanders are a good team. They have a viable offense that's going to win them some games. But with the talent that Jayden Daniels possesses, turns them into a great team. It puts them up another notch on the ladder in turning them into that great team tier. They're probably going to end up winning the NFC East. That's what I think. I mean, 4-1 already, and you see an Eagles team who's been very inconsistent, a Cowboys team who we don't know what is going on with them, and then the Giants, who did just beat the Seahawks, but they're still the Giants, They're going to win this division most likely. They're going to make the playoffs, and they might make some noise. And that's what you want to see out of your rookie quarterback. And both Jayden Daniels and Kliff Kingsbury are extremely big contributors in that, in the play calling, and then his offensive ability, his playmaking ability, and his athleticism. So what you see from this first clip is just a really good play call and a really good execution of this play by Jayden Daniels and Kliff Kingsbury. Right, I love the signing for the offensive coordinator job for him. He fits great with Dan Quinn's staff, and Dan Quinn being this defensive guru. Right, then you bring in a quarterback guru. It's just a great fit, and the Commanders have done a really good job with their staff hires. So what we see from this Commanders offense is almost like a simplified playbook, and it's been working really well. Jayden Daniels has done really well in this. So on this play, we're going to see a post clear out, right? Not really a clear out, I guess. It's just a post route. Go route. This is more of the clear out. And then out breaking, out route, and then in breaking, in route, right? So that's what we have. And then you have Brian Robinson. He's blocking. So defensively, we see 4 down linemen, and then we've got 3 more guys in the box. So this is man. This is a rusher. This is a rusher. These 4 are all rushing. So it's a 6-man rush. We have man. Nope. Man, deep safety. This is cover 1, right? And Brian Robinson's here blocking. So pick up 6, and the Commanders do a great job of picking this up offensive line-wise. Brian Robinson lays a good block. But what happens is Jayden Daniels is looking over in this direction, notices, man, this isn't open. This isn't going to be open with him dropping back so far. This isn't going to be open in man either with him dropping back farther, right? So we know that's not open. And then he's looking at the out route, but he knows 98's right with him, right? Like, this is covered. He's got all of this covered. Best he can do is fit a really nice ball right into that window. But by the time break even happens for the out route, he's already looking towards the inside of the field where Zach Ertz is, right? He was on this like in route. Oop. He was on like this in route. And what happens is Jayden Daniels notices, shoot, Lavonte David, he's flat-footed. I can't say that Jayden Daniels noticed that, his feet were flat, but what I'm looking at it is flat-footed and his jersey isn't facing the right direction. He's got to open his hips and run. Nobody's really making a play on this ball. So this is where he slings the ball in, and there's pretty good speed on it. It's a little bit wobbly, but as you can see, Zach Ertz almost has to readjust his shoulders to come back and catch this ball, and now he's like vertical with his back facing the field, right? And what I think happens here is Jayden Daniels does this on purpose because he knows that this guy, number 98, is looking at him. He's not worried about this out route anymore, right? This isn't in his mind. So before he even throws it, 98 has now opened his hips. Not that way, but he's opening his hips this way. And what Jayden Daniels notices is like, okay, I can't throw this for Ertz in stride to get upfield because this is going to be a hospital ball, right? You've got Ertz going this way, defender coming this way. That's not a good combo. So what I think Jayden Daniels does on purpose here is throw this like almost back shoulder pass in this very small gap between Lavonte David and the next defender. And it ends up being, it ends up being right short of the first down, where it doesn't even matter because it's first down. So I'll go ahead and run the whole play through for you, and you can just see what I mean by what I think Jayden Daniels does, and he does a great job of it. He makes his reads, right? And then he slings that ball in that really, he slings it in that very small pocket behind him, so I think his guy can make the play without getting hit. And that's a really heads-up play, like a play that you see a veteran do. Right, and that's what you really want to see out of your rookie quarterback. All right, so I had this video made, but after his play from today's game against the Browns, I had to include some clips. So in this one, you see 3rd and 13, pretty early on in the game, and what Jayden Daniels does is a really veteran move, right? So we're going to see this out route about 10 yards and out, and then you're going to see this guy. He's either on a go or like a deep in. Terry McLaurin's running a post here. Like here. This guy is going to check and release, and then Brian Robinson is just going to block. That's our play. It's nothing spectacular. It's either throw an incompletion, scramble for 3 yards, or throw a bomb and get a touchdown or throw a pick. That's pretty much your 4 options on this play. And what we see from Jayden Daniels is really promising out of a rookie quarterback. All right. So immediately you notice, okay, there's a lot of rushers, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And we only have, I guess we have 7 blockers because we're check releasing this guy and Brian Robinson is here to block. But there's an unmanned blocker because this is the weak side of the field and you don't expect pressure. I mean, look at the gap between the center and the left guard, left tackle, There's a ginormous gap between the 2 rushers, and instead they overload this and bring an extra rusher on the weak side. The weak side is, the ball's on the hash mark. There's less yards over here. There's more yards over here. So on this play, right side would be weak side. This would be the strong side. So the Browns blitz 6. And defensively, this means that they're probably in like a cover 0. Or they could be in like a cover 2 sink, which just means they're in zone and then they've got a deep safety as well. So I can't tell from this because it kind of zooms in on Jayden Daniels pretty quick. I can't see what the defense does. But so here's the unblocked rusher, and Jayden Daniels has enough pocket presence to sidestep this and move to his right. Unfortunately, there is a guy there, but fortunately, Jayden Daniels is able to break his arm tackle out of the sack. And what I mean by in the beginning of the clip when I said this is a really veteran move, really good veteran move, is him running out of the pocket but keeping his eyes down the field, knowing this is 3rd and 13. I either make a play here or, we're off the field. And he keeps his eyes down the field, and eventually this turns into an open route from Terry McLaurin. And this ball is a great ball. His feet are not set. He's not throwing off his back foot. He's on the run, right? He's not stable, and he heaves this ball about 45 yards down the field perfectly to Terry McLaurin, who unfortunately doesn't score, but it's just an incredible throw. So I'll go ahead and play it from its original clip. And yeah, keeps his eyes down the field, and then throws it for 45 yards air, and then gets about an extra 15 from the run after the catch. So, I mean, this is just a veteran move, that kind of discredits a lot of people who are saying or giving too much credit to the offensive play calling versus Jayden Daniels just being uber talented. So this clip is actually contrasting, many of the things I've been talking about. It's Jayden Daniels throwing an interception because he's too quick to go through his actually, it's the opposite. He's too quick to make a decision without going through all of his progressions, and he kind of relies on checkdowns a little too much to always be open because they're checkdowns, and that's what we see on this play. So we see this is right after the Terry McLaurin catch. It's 3rd and goal, an incompletion, and then a run. Didn't get anywhere for the Commanders. And we see McLaurin is going on a slant, much more like this. And then McCaffrey's going to come in here and get in the way of this defender. It's called a rub route, right? He gets in the way of this defender, takes him off McLaurin for a pretty easy touchdown. And then you see Zach Ertz is going to come up here and then run a hitch to do the same thing, kind of jumble some defenders up to either hit this out route or hit Brian Robinson on this little halfback swing route, okay? And what ends up happening is there's a 4-man rush defensively, but you already see there's 4 guys in coverage on this side of the field. I'm most likely checking it really quick, seeing if this Brian Robinson route is going to be open, moving to the left side of the field. If I'm a quarterback, I'm not in the NFL, so maybe he sees something else. Maybe he's been taught something else. But this is just my opinion. So here's the ball is snapped, and you automatically see, okay, it looks like we're even man, but we're really not because we have that 4th guy not directly in the way of a route, but still over here on the side of the field. And if I'm Jayden Daniels, and I'm determined to throw it to this side of the field, this is when I'm launching this ball to Brian Robinson. Maybe he can get upfield, make a play, break a tackle, or is this rub route by Zach Ertz takes these 2 defenders away, which it kind of does, right? Like if he throws this to Brian Robinson right now, number 9 has already come broken out of the route, but head on collision between these 2, I give the win to Brian Robinson. Instead, he throws it to the one place he absolutely could not. Maybe by some miracle he could lob this way into the back of the end zone, and this guy comes down with it. But he tries to force this into Zach Ertz, which, is your check down. I mean, Brian Robinson is your check down, but hitch routes are always reliable routes to probably be open. This case, no. Number 6 for the Browns, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, something like that. That's the only time I'm going to try to say his name. But he's standing right here. I don't know if Jayden Daniels didn't see him, if, maybe he's seeing ghosts like Sam Darnold did a while ago. But this ends up being an interception, obviously. Now, here's the frame I want you to see right now. Luke McCaffrey does a great job getting in the way of these 2 defenders. Jayden Daniels, unless he's throwing this route to Brian Robinson, he shouldn't even wait to let these 2 mature and get open. He should take his eyes this way, and look at that. I mean, here you have the middle linebacker. He's not even looking at this side of the field, and you have the safety doing the exact same thing. This slant is an easy touchdown, and instead he just makes a costly decision that ends up being an interception. So we'll go ahead and we'll go through the entire play here, and I just want you to look at how open the Terry McLaurin slant is right there, and instead ends up being an interception. Didn't matter in the overall scheme of this game, but, setting the tone early is important regardless of who you're playing. They're still professional athletes. And throwing an interception when you have the ball where it is, on the 5-yard line in the red zone, you just can't do that. All right, so in the last clip I'm going to show, it's just a very simple play. I'm not even really going to go into very much depth about it. But I just want to talk about how athletic Jayden Daniels is, all right? He's not a very big guy, all right? He's not incredibly tall. He's not incredibly muscular. But he has incredible arm strength, and his ability to get out of the pocket and make plays with his legs is the best in his draft class for sure. But it ranks among the best in the NFL already so early in his career. So what you automatically see is, okay, this looks like a run. We have a fullback and an H-back and then a running back, and you've got 2 receivers lined up out here. We have 8 people in the box, so they're prepared for the run. And instead, it looks like these are both skinny posts crossing each other at some point. But this is a play action pass, all right, and you have your blockers. They're blitzing 5, and Jayden Daniels does an incredible job. This actually might try to be a screenplay. I can't really tell. He does a really good job of finding the hole and getting out, and that's really important for quarterbacks in this age of the NFL. You need to have a dual threat quarterback to be successful, and he's able to split. I mean, what looks to be about a yard gap, and just use his speed to get around this guy, number 59 right here, and get through for about, I want to say 20 yards. Yeah, and then he uses that athleticism and speed to beat the defensive back to the edge, get out of bounds without taking a hit, really, right? And that's just opens up so much more for this offense. And with a guy like Brian Robinson in the backfield, and then you have, explosive talent in your wide receiver core with Zach Ertz and then De'Ami Brown, who's very underrated, and Terry McLaurin, being able to run as a quarterback is an incredible asset to have as an offensive coordinator. Now, as for the overall prompt, how good is Jayden Daniels? I say that he is the best quarterback prospect that we've had, besides C.J. Stroud, of course, because he was a unicorn. He's not. We're not going to see a C.J. Stroud. Jayden Daniels is the best quarterback prospect we've seen in a number of years through his rookie season. We have other guys who have the intangibles that we rank higher than Jayden Daniels preseason, but so far into the season we haven't seen a better rookie quarterback besides C.J. Stroud in a very long time. And the Commanders should be very thrilled about this. They should be thrilled about their hirings with Kliff Kingsbury. I think he is also a very important part of his development, and I'm excited to see how Jayden Daniels can improve his game with maybe a more advanced playbook, and we're just going to see the improvement, and this guy most likely take home Rookie of the Year if he keeps playing up to this standard, right? And overall, I mean, that's the end of the video. I think Jayden Daniels is an incredible player. He's going to have a great career in the NFL, unless, God forbid, injuries or anything like of the sort happens. And if you're a Commanders fan, you should be absolutely thrilled. If you're a Giants, Cowboys, or Eagles fan, I would be absolutely, devastated that the Commanders actually have a quarterback, because they've had good defenses for years now. And overall, that's just the end of the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment what you want to see me talk more about. I'm open to any suggestions. Ideas always help. And yeah, so just make sure to like and subscribe.